Hi guys, I'm back with another book haul kind of book video, even though I posted one literally just like 10 minutes ago. So hey, I hope you guys enjoy this. This one, even though there are two male authors, the rest are women, and I would kind of like to dedicate this particular video to the female experience and female writing. So the female experience is basically just the human experience, like the human's experience of life and, nature and society and everything like that. Literally just your life, but through a female lens, because it's very different. The female lens compared to the male lens is incredibly different in a lot of ways, and I think we can all agree that. Just with how the world interacts with you and how the world sees you and judges you and how you judge yourself because of kind of gender politics and gender roles, essentially. So writing for women is fundamentally different from men. And I, obviously, since I'm a girl, I'm a woman, I really resonate with the woman's writing so much more, and I love it so much. Genuinely, it's amazing. So I'll give you like a little bit of history and a little bit of kind of like about the female canon. So a canon is a tradition, which literary canons are literary traditions. So if you say kind of like, I guess the feminine canon, the feminine literary canon is just like the how women, when they first started kind of writing and kind of being recognized as authors and, kind of people who bring something to the literary table, how they kind of conducted their kind of work and how they formulated their work and what form their work takes kind of shape of, So you can often find in the literary canon very kind of like diary-like novels. They're called epistolary novels, like The Colour Purple, like what else? Anything by Annie Ernaux. Very Sylvia Plath too. She is extremely epistolary in my opinion, even though like her like it just because it's epistolary and just because it's like written like a journal doesn't mean it has to say, oh, 23rd of Jan 2025, just something that flows like a journal, it's like a stream of consciousness. So that's what kind of like the literary canon kind of is. It's like one kind of example of it. So yeah, that's something. And also, obviously, I think something else that was very common in the female literary canon is kind of like emphasis on kind of smaller details, or kind of it's more emotionally charged, I guess. I don't know, I'm rambling at that point. But like, yeah, it's just very different to how men write, and I love it, and I really do connect with it, and I find it gorgeous. And yeah, no matter what you write and no matter who you are, your experience and your identity, whatever it is, male or female or beyond, no gender or whatever, I think your identity really does seep into your work and stuff and who you are and who you identify as, and I think that's really lovely, and I think it's really cool, and I like it. So even though there are two male authors here, I'll just talk about them in a different vein. I like in a different kind of way and stuff. They're not kind of tied in, but I thought I'd show you all the new books I have, because I just noticed that majority of these fall under I guess feminist literature. It's not particularly saying, oh, equal rights for whoever, but it's just kind of like, I don't know, stuff that really inspires me and connects with me and soothes me. That's how I see kind of feminist literature, and I'm guessing that might not be correct, but hey, that might be correct. That's correct in my own way. So I just noticed it's a lot of it's written by women about kind of, just random stuff, and I really like that. So anyways, besides the little history lesson and besides the rant, I hope you enjoy this. I am looking forward to this. So yeah, I'll just show you the first thing that I'm reading, and essentially my number one like kind of source of finding new books right now is I just randomly buy books and see if I like it, and a lot of the times I do and stuff. I just pick something out and I'm like, yeah, I like you. But I saw this on Pinterest. Pinterest is like my number one go-to. I adore Pinterest for stuff like this. Pinterest is really good. Pinterest is like what Book Talk should have been. I don't know why, but I get the amazing recs from Book Talk through Pinterest, because like it just kind of like funnels the crap out, and then it kind of gives me what I want, and it's just so good. But anyways, I'm just gonna let you look at this cover. Are you serious? And that's the author. She is amazing. She's gorgeous. And look inside this book. Are you fucking serious? Are you crazy? I saw that and honestly, like, I was just like, this is me. Oh, this is probably my favorite cover I have ever seen. This is my favorite cover. You can't look at that and tell me that's not made for woman. That is woman. That is made by woman for woman to consume. Thank you very much. That is amazing. So I didn't realize how sci-fi this was. This blends a lot of kind of everyday life in Japan, specifically Tokyo, and like the little kind of small kind of bits in Tokyo. I don't really know how to call them, because like in London, like we have towns. I'm guessing prefectures, but I don't know how that works in Japan. I don't know. But yeah, it takes place in Tokyo. Kind of like, I'm assuming like 90s, 80s, and 70s, because there's a bit of time traveling in this. And yeah, it's amazing. I didn't realize how sci-fi it was. I thought it was going to be a little bit like sci-fi, and like mostly kind of like reality stuff. But this really mixes sci-fi. Every single element has sci-fi in this, from like alien lovers to like kind of people messing with like time and space, and this woman got like living so many different lives, like this music fan groupie, like, oh my god. And yeah, it has quite a few kind of like gender role type of things. It doesn't explore it, but like, I don't know, it's just interesting to see like how the author, Izumi Suzuki, kind of reflects probably like not modern day Japan, but like when did she write? Well, she lived from 1949 to 1986, so kind of like how she possibly reflected like 60s, 70s, 80s Japan into her work. A lot of the depictions of the men are quite not negative, but they're very far removed, you know. The men don't really have a like, I just noticed every single short story in here, because there's a collection of short stories. It's kind of anthology, the best anthology ever I've heard and like read. But everyone follows a woman, usually a young woman, kind of living by herself or something like that, or just like a very young, youthful, with the times woman. And a lot of it kind of, I don't know, you get kind of like old faded rock star guys, you get weird slimy cheating men, like record label producers, you get weird awkward bland business men, like Japanese businessmen, because that's like a whole like stereotype trope thing. If you kind of know, you know. You also get like best like guy best friends and stuff, and like who will kind of talk crap about women along like to a woman and stuff, like the depictions of guys, there's not really any shining amazing guys in here, which like I don't know if that really says anything about Suzuki's type of outlook on men, but it's just very interesting and stuff, and it's very like, I don't know, I think it's just very intriguing to see how a lot of the women are treated in this book and stuff. by their male counterparts and just like their, like, you know, their friends or their lovers or, you know, their kind of husbands or something. It's very interesting to see it. And what really got me was, I wish she expanded on this, but it's my, I can't lie, I don't know if it's my favorite, but my favorite scene in this, it's not my favorite story, but it's my favorite scene. My favorite scene is, it's called Hey, it's a love psychedelic, and basically this woman is traveling through time. She's a huge music fan, and she gets to the timeline where she is a groupie, and she's like in her youth, she's like almost 20, she's a groupie, and her friends randomly call up this really faded old rock star. You know, he's like past his heyday, but people still want him because he's just amazing, like this tragic old ex-star. And they like meet to kind of, you know, whatever, to get together and stuff, and like he's so far removed and so distant, and she's just kind of sitting like on the bed like, okay, you know, like what the heck and stuff. And it's just, I don't know, if you have let me get the book, if you have, it's so Nana, it is incredibly Nana. I love Nana. I love like the whole schema of Nana, like really sad kind of, you know, troubled rock stars and like women trying to navigate this really male dominated space, whether it be being groupies or being front woman, you know, of a band. So if you like Nana, you will like this, because this is literally like Nana but in like a different font. This is what I've been looking for. I've been trying to look for like, you know, 90s rock Japan and stuff. Also, one thing that I do like about this book, she like the author constantly like talks about different bands, and they're all real life bands and they're all underground bands, because I don't know if she was kind of like in the underground scene herself, but she knew quite a few. So I think I'm gonna go for this book once again, and I use Apple Music. I'm gonna go and make a playlist and use this as the cover of the playlist, and I'm gonna put a bunch of songs that I maybe like from the book, or like, yeah, from the artist, and put it all together and stuff, and maybe it can fuel some of my next music projects, because wow, I love it. And if you love Nana, you will love this. And like that one scene was just so Nana, it tugged at my heartstrings. Oh my god, because there was one time where he puts his arms around her, and then like he's suddenly zapped, because he realizes that she's been shape shifting and moving through time, and he's like freaking out, and he's like, oh my god, we're moving through time, what do we do? And then the night after, like the morning after, when he's kind of seeing her off, he pretends not to care about it anymore. He's like, whatever, type of thing. It's like very like Virgin Suicides, like when Lux and Trip get together, and then like the night after, Trip cannot care less about the girl, you know, and it's just so soul crushing. It was like that, but like 70s Japanese Tokyo version. Oh my gosh, I can't, like, I love it so much. It's definitely become one of my top 10 books probably. Just because of that one scene, I was just like, wow, this like describes something so amazingly, and I can't, it's so good. So please read it. Like I said, if you like Nana, you'll like this, and it's just, oh, they're one and the same. And if anyone else has like things that are like Nana, like it doesn't have to be animes. If it is something like this, like a nice book which has really not like big Nana vibes, I'm gonna search it up actually after I film this video. If you have any recs like that, please. Oh my god, that's so good. I just love like the underground kind of rock music scene in like Japan, and like, you know, love, heartbreak, loss type of, and like competition. Oh my god, I kid you not, I am like the world's biggest fan for that stuff. You crazy? Okay, so the second one I'll do is kind of like that. It's kind of like that, but like American version now. As you can tell, I love it when women just go into the kind of sphere of limelight and fame and music and stuff like that. Actually, I just realized all the books that I'm about to show you, besides the two ones by the guy, by the two guys, they all have an element of that. They all have an element of women being in like a music space, interacting with like their male counterparts and navigating kind of like love, loss, creating, shape shifting, time traveling. Yeah, they all have something. Maybe this is a niche that I adore. Clearly it is, because every bit of these books has some sort of music in it. I'm pretty sure this has like music or some sort of like being famous. So this is about this is like the summer of 1995. Two girls are neighbors, and one is one has a celebrity family. They're all like crazy amazing, and the other is just a regular person. So obviously there's a little bit of competition, and there's a little bit of kind of comparison and jealousy and stuff like that. And I think they kind of finally get smushed together in a room. Sorry, I had to book when they go to university together, and like apparently it's 1995, and apparently they get quite obsessed with each other, because I think they're obsessed with the idea of each other. Because I think when you get so like, I think women can understand this. I think that's what I mean. It's made for women. When you get so kind of, when you really dislike someone, or you're jealous of like a fellow girl because of what they have and what you don't, to the point where it becomes parasocial, and to the point where it like you become obsessed with them, like not in a romantic way, but in like a really destructive, crazy way, you know, and it drives you like insane. It's like Shakespearean type of tragedy where you really like screw yourself up, you know, mentally and like physically, and like, you know, I think that's only something women will understand. So but yeah, I think, yeah, they kind of, ooh, I guess I haven't read this yet, but apparently one of the girls has, oh, okay. So the girl that wasn't famous has a chance at fame now, and it kind of like the cracks in there, like really obsessive, really like what the heck type of like friendships start to show. So yeah. And like look at this cover as well. I was also, honestly, you shouldn't judge a book by its cover, obviously, but I'm not gonna lie, these covers absolutely bang. Are you crazy? Like, look. So yeah, it's just kind of about fame, navigating things, limelight, ambition, crippling ambition, vaulting ambition, as we used to talk about in the Shakespeare classes back in like high school. I am excited for this, I'm not gonna lie. And it's in parts. I just noticed it's in parts. It's in like 3 parts. I mean, you can find some sort of an analysis from that. Like 3 parts, you know. It just clearly outlines the kind of like the start of the story, climax, and then the denouement. I'm gonna call it the denouement, you know? It clearly outlines that like a Shakespearean play. So I would kind of allude it to, you know, a modern twist on a classic kind of format, which was taken from Greek tragedy. See, I love English A-level. Even though I didn't get the best grade in it, I love it, and it clearly shows. I love it. It made me very good with kind of appreciating my books more, because honestly, when I did it, it was such a drag. But I like low-key now, I understand and I appreciate, and I can analyze, and I can, you know, really engage critically with my books to such a deeper level, and it's amazing. I love it so much. It's really fun. It's honestly, I didn't do the best at my A-levels, but they gave me such skills that like I would not trade for anything. Anyways, next one is a bit of like a lighter read. They're all kind of relatively quite skinny. How many pages is this? Right now, since I'm so busy with life, I don't want anything that's over like 300 pages. Don't give that to me. Do not give it to me. I just finished The Secret History, which was like 500 pages or something like that, and I just like, no, I'm not doing that anymore. No thanks. This one is also about like music and bands, and this is a love triangle. So I think this is about two friends who are like, I think they're in a band together, and like I think the front woman is a girl, I'm assuming, and she really likes this kind of like, I guess, childhood friend. No, not a childhood friend. It's not a childhood friend trope. They're just like two really good friends, and she wants all more, but she doesn't want to jeopardize the band and doesn't want to ruin anything. And then she meets this other guy that she really likes, and turns out he's a great fit for the band. So I'm assuming the first guy might not really agree with that and might not be comfortable with that whole notion. So I guess it's like a little love triangle type of thing. I don't know. I'm excited to read this one. It's like, if you look at the if you look at the kind of thing, it's a lot less dense. This is going to be tiny, absolutely tiny. 230 pages. There we go. 230 pages. That will be a quick read. Like, if I can read that on the way home, maybe, you know. I'm just all about trying to get my reading count up, but still enjoying the books, you know. So I'm excited for that one. This is going to be good. And this is also by the person who wrote If He Had Been With Me and If Only I Had Told Her. So I don't want to cry, but if I cry again, Laura, if I catch you on the street, girl, it's over. Anyways, moving on. The last girly pop, not girly bop, sorry. Oh my god, that sounds like I am Jamaican. We had, he's dead now, but we had this artist called Gully Bob, and I said that by accident just now, and it reminded me of him, and I was like, whoa, 2017 was insane. He had like one song that was like really popular, and then like I can't remember anything else. So, and then this is by, I should have said, okay. These two are by authors that I do not know yet. These are new. These are introductions. When I was at work the other day, I already ordered more of Suzuki's work. She's only, which is so sad, I could read her stuff for hours on end. She only has 2 extra books that I know of right now. Because unfortunately she died a while back, I think when she was still really young. It was like a Sylvia Plath situation. This is a Sylvia Plath situation, because they don't have much work out there, so you kind of have to cherish the work that they have, because it's all like, you know, it's a finite thing, which is so sad. Yeah, but anyways, I'm not gonna get into it. I feel such a connection with her, like how I feel with Sylvia. Like, it's insane. Like, I haven't felt this way since I first read Sylvia for the first time, which is like a really big thing to say, you know. If you get it, you'll understand. This one is new. I can't feel any sort of connection to it just yet, because I haven't started it yet, but I'm sure I will. Especially with like obsession and trying to reach something and trying to reach fame and trying to make your dreams happen and be recognized and loved for once, you know. I think the musician in me will very much appreciate that. But anyways, this one I have read before, and this one I have also, well, these two authors, yeah, there we go. These two authors I have read before. I mentioned her book in the last one. If Only I Had Told Her. It was the white one with like the little rose on it. Really good. Also made me cry. This better not make me cry. This better just be something really simple and basic, because I swear to God. Anyways, moving on. Eve Babbitts. If you have not heard of her, you will soon, because oh my gosh. So, how I got to find out about her, after a really awful jazz class lesson back in the summer. It was like probably the most legendary worst one. Actually, no, it was the second worst one, because I was like kind of embarrassed, even though they meant well and they were trying to help me, but like it was embarrassing. Just a really tense environment, and it was kind of scary. So after that, I decided there was a Foyles right next to which is an American. It's a British bookstore, basically your local Barnes and Noble. So I went there to go and maybe get some books to cheer myself up because I just felt like crap. I was like, no, this is so bad. And suddenly I found this like book with like such an amazing cover. It was like so like, it was like, you know, feminine literature. You can really tell what the book's gonna be about their cover. Like I saw it and I was like, you're for the girls. You're for the LA girls. And it said Eve's Hollywood. And it was just kind of like about Eve Babbitt's, because she was like a famous groupie, well, as well as writer. Like let's not confuse her for her groupie, because obviously she was a groupie, I guess, and stuff, and she was like, you know, riding around with the stars, but she had talent too. She was a gifted writer at that. So I think people like to kind of write groupies off as just like having zero talent and being a talent leech. But Marianne Faithfull was called a groupie and she was amazing at music apparently. And Eve, she writes amazingly. I think there was this gorgeous comparison for Eve on the back of her book Eve's Hollywood, and it said, oh, Eve Babbitt is the Chet Baker of literature. And I was just like, I first read that and I hadn't read anything by Eve. I just was looking at the blurb and I was like, that sounds really gorgeous. And honestly, I understand it. I kind of understand it. I'm not very well versed in Chet Baker. I kind of need to get into some of his stuff. Fun fact, but I know he's a legend, you know, in jazz. My teacher, who teaches me musical language and technique, saw him live apparently back in the day, which is insane. Like, I'm so jealous. That's like crazy. The amount of people, if you told that to some of the people that I know today, they do a backflip because that's insane. Anyways, I read Eve's Hollywood and it was gorgeous. It was amazing. And I was just like, it was like during the summer as well. It was a really nice summer read because like you could pretend that you were in LA with her even though you were in London. But summer in London is not bad. It does sound good. Only if you have money. To go out and do stuff. Otherwise it's absolute crap. So I was just kind of imagining that I was like this LA girl, you know, like, you know, riding around. And then at the same time, after I read a Jane Birkin book, so I was pretending that I was riding around being a cute little like Parisian girl in the summer. So it was like Paris and LA, and I was like, dang, this is so good. It was a dreamy little summer. I loved it. So I've got this, and like even though I want to save it for the summer, I kind of want to like read it after I finish the Izumi one. I'm gonna dual wield and read two at one time, which is something that I usually don't do. Hopefully I can finish this off quickly so I don't have to do that because that drives me insane. I'm not meant for that. But ooh, this is only 162 pages. See, I'm all about the thin skinty books right now because we're too busy and I'm trying to make sure that I reach my quota of one book a month. I've kept that up for the last 2 years. I don't want to end it anytime soon. So yeah, it's gorgeous. It's just very kind of, she's recounting her days. Let me get back to the point. She's recounting her days as a groupie, as a whatever, as a kind of aristocrat of LA. This girl loves LA so much, and I can see why. She paints it so gorgeously, in such a lovely light, and it really does give you passion for a city that you've never been in, and that's how you know she's a good writer. Like, genuinely, I've always loved LA, and I've always wanted to go to LA because ever since I was small, even though it's like a creepy place as well, it's like not great. There's like cults and like weird stuff that happens there. But like, California in general is one of my favorite states, if not my favorite state. it's just so pretty, and sunshine, and there's beaches, and you know, it's where creativity really does thrive, you know. You got musicians, you have like filmmakers. It's just it's really, really nice and very, like, you know, relaxed. And I think back in her day, I don't know how it is now, people say apparently LA ain't that great now, but back in like the 60s to 90s, it's just it's something else. It's just where everything was happening and everything is happening, you know. It's just gorgeous, honestly. Like I have such passion for a town and for like a state that I've never been in. But then again, I really like, I hate on America because as a British person, as a British person, I do. That's what we do. But then like I think about New Orleans, and then I think about New York, and then I think about the Midwest, and then I think about what else? I think about the desert that the US has, you know? And then I think about California, and I'm like, maybe you guys ain't bad. And then I think about the gorgeous, like, kind of redwood trees, redwood forest. I don't know, but you know, like those really intensely tall trees that are so gorgeous, and you only see them in America. You know, I think about the summer camps that you guys have, and I think about everything else, and I'm just like, oh, you know what? I am very passionate about America. I just, just like the things that they have, like, you know, lifestyle, and just like the cool, like really big schools with like pools and all that, and like crazy gymnasiums that you guys have, and all these like spirit weeks that you guys have. You don't even know what spirit week is, but like just the culture that they have in general, like the modern culture, I really do appreciate it at times. Like, even though that country is full of strife right now, and it has been, that country was built on strife, thank you very much. That country was born with trouble. But like, it's just, it really, like, things like this do restore your kind of faith in the world, and faith in, you know, even though America is insane, it is nice though. There is a beauty in the madness, unfortunately. There shouldn't be madness, but there is madness everywhere. And I think I need to find something like this, but for London, something that recounts, you know, London, and really restores the beauty of London in my eyes. I really love that. So I can really kind of, you know, appreciate London as I appreciate LA and stuff, and appreciate just, you know, California and the US. And I just think at this time in life, I don't want to get political or whatever, I'm not trying to, but I just think wherever you are in the world, try and read something from like where you're from, or try and read something just about someone's very dear memories about a certain place or like a certain time. And I think that will just like really restore your kind of faith, and restore kind of, you know, your love for things, because I think it's very easy to fall out of love with the world in general right now. But yeah, it's just nice, like things like this just remind me that life is beautiful. And I think this is what the other book is doing as well. Like, it's so goofy, it's so bad. The men here, there's not one kind of good man. The men are trash in this. But then when you think of that kind of scene with the groupie and like the faded type of old rock star, you just kind of think, oh wow, that's so sad, and that's so tragic, and that's kind of trashy as hell. But then you just think life is just like so beautiful, you know? Like, it's a sad type of beautiful. It's a really weird, trashy type of beautiful. Like, trashy, weird, soulless things can be very beautiful too, you know? And I just think, like, how the ex-rocker is kind of like this, you know, jaded, faded star, and, you know, he's probably trying to hide his emotions and hide his whatever, and he's just alone. He's picking up random people's calls because he's alone and all that. It's just like, yeah, even though he's a bit of a cunt, you kind of like you kind of feel bad for him. You're like, low key, you're trying to act cool, but like you're really lonely and like isolated, aren't you? You're really lonely. yeah, and it's just like a really sad type of beautiful, you know? Yeah, it's just, life is beautiful. It's so sad and it's ugly and it's disgusting, but life is beautiful, you know? Something can be disgusting and beautiful at the same time, I think. Let me organise these by height. But yeah, that's all the girly pop ones done. I will quickly go over the the other two. This one is also a skinty, tiny, skinny one. Let me see how many pages it has. 129. Oh, and half of it is a translator's note. Hold on. Yeah, 123. And I have never gotten into Mexican literature. I'm pretty sure he's Mexican. Yes. So what really got me was the I was looking at the blurb. Also, look at this. What got me was this. I was like, oh, I want to read something that's like about like the Mexican desert and like isolation and like, you know, antebellum and kind of like, you know, decaying things, but like not in like the Southern American sense, because that's kind of like just so overdone. Like in like, you know, that's the Mexican sense. Decaying Mexico, thank you. Want to read that? Also, I have such a passion for Mexico. Like, I've never been there, but I love the whole culture, I love the music, I love the people. I want to go there so bad. I feel like it's so interesting because like you can feel so connected to different places. You know, I feel so connected to like Mexico and Brazil and like Ireland. It's I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. Anyways, what got me was Wuthering Heights, located in Mexico and written by Kafka. Are you dumb? Are you stupid? Are you serious? What makes you think I'm gonna work out a Waterstones with that not in my hand? Are you crazy? Darling. Like, and a recurrent nightmare? Recurring nightmares? A crazy. Thank you. The essential Mexican novel. And I was just like, well, I have to read that, you know? And like, it's just kind of like about a really desolate kind of ghost town and like a crumbling family and, you know, just like chaos and corruption and yada 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 yada. So I don't know much about it just yet, but like I'm just thinking that's cool. And I was talking to this guy the other day. I mean, not the other day, the last time I talked to him was like a year ago. But we were just talking about it was like a friend of a friend and stuff, and he wanted to know about French literature, so he came to ask me and was like, do you know any recs, any good recommendations? And I was like, sure, because he mostly kind of focuses on Latin American novels, basically like South American novels, and I was like, yeah, that sounds cool, but I don't know if I'm interested in that right now. But I was just like, let me pick it up and see, because I feel like I know so much about American literature. I know so much about French literature now. I know a lot about English literature by default, yes. I don't know anything about kind of Latin American. Sorry, I had a burp again. Literature. I might as well delve into that, you know? It sounds gorgeous, no? So I was like, yeah, let me do that. I'm sure that will just be like just amazing. And the last book, this one's a non-fiction one. So it's called The Grammar of Angels. Are you stupid? What makes you think I'm not going to pick that up? Sorry. So, yeah. A search for the magical powers of sublime language. And this is basically kind of like a linguistics thing, which ties in with religion and like communication and things like that. And, you know, soul searching. So I looked at it and I was like, The Grammar of Angels sounds like a gorgeous fiction book. Oh wait, it's non-fiction. I'm gonna pick it up anyways because whoever came up with that title, you're amazing. And it's all circling the question of language's ability to transcend the mortal realm. Thank you. That sounds amazing. I've always liked languages and linguistics. I will always do like that, and I'm always open to learning more about languages and the building blocks of kind of linguistics and things like that. And our first mode of communication as humans, talking. So yeah, I'm super interested about this, and it ties in with a little bit of religion. Yeah, so I'm quite interested, and it talks about Greeks and Egyptians and medieval Arabs and Jews as well, which is like super interesting. Like, I feel like I have a lot to learn from this book, and yeah, I really really do like how this sounds and stuff. And yeah, I'll have to tell you more about what it is specifically, because it's covering a lot about different things. So I'm gonna have to actually read it, and then like what it is about specifically, I'll tell you later. But I'm interested. I want to read more non-fiction books so I can, learn about the world around me, because you can learn the world around you about with fiction books, and whoever says you can't and you just need to read non-fiction books is so uninspired and stupid. You don't need to read the 48 laws of power or the daily human laws to learn more about life. You can do that and read a fiction. I think the best way to learn about human life is to read the fiction and the non-fiction. And it's okay if you stick to one or the other, but don't crap on either one of those. I think it's more like kind of based, if you will, if you like stick to just if you just stick to fiction, like that's okay. I don't mind, because people do. But if you just stick to non-fiction and you crap on fiction, I don't like you. But if it's the other way around, like, you're fine, relatively, but watch your mouth at times. So yeah, I think the people who only read, this is like my last note before I go, because it's like 42 minutes right now, but people who like read fiction but then crap on non-fiction, they're just opinionated. People who read non-fiction but then crap on fiction are close-minded. There's a difference. There's a fat difference, and if you know, you know. But anyways, I'm gonna go. I hope you enjoyed this lovely little array of books. I'm trying to widen my reading a little bit by bit, but I think I read a really big range of books anyway, so I don't have to worry about that. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. This is such a long video. I'm sorry, and bye bye. Bye.